you're pivoting to anecdotes.
No, this is not anecdotes.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the Times comedian Jon Stewart took down politicians with style.
Based on how you eat pizza, Donald, I want to see your long-form birth certificate. I don't think you were really born in New York.
Number 10, Christie. In 2013, the New Jersey governor's staff closed express lanes on a bridge to Fort Lee as political retribution. This kicked off a scandal that seriously tarnished Christie's political career.
Why are we talking about a traffic jam from September anyway? Well, funny story.
On The Daily Show, Jon Stewart showed text messages in which Christie's staff mocked children missing school because of the traffic. The real destruction came when Stewart addressed Christie directly as the show's New Jersey correspondent.
Hey, how you doing? Look, as a guy who grew up in New Jersey, I'm disappointed. I'm ashamed of the state I grew up in.
Forget blocking ambulances and causing a public crisis out of sheer pettiness. The governor's real crime was leading a staff who were incompetent at corruption. For the love of New Jersey, Stewart argued, they could have at least hidden their crimes in mob movie code.
You're an embarrassment to dialogue. Here's how it should have gone. Hey, did you take care of that thing? Yeah, that thing? Yeah, I took care of that thing.
Number 9, Newt Gingrich. The Republican strategist and former Speaker of the House was one of several right-wingers who went head-to-head with Jon Stewart as an interview guest.
Because the economy is much weaker, and because the administration is much more radical than the Clinton administration was. I think that's...
Why do you say they're more radical?
Like almost all of them, he underestimated his opponent. Stewart challenged Gingrich's characterization of Democrats' policies as, quote, radical, which sent Gingrich into a wild non-sequitur about how non-citizens suspected of terrorism shouldn't be given due process or civil rights.
Putting the rights of terrorists legally ahead of figuring out how to save Americans is seen by most Americans to be a fairly radical redefinition.
That's a very emotional way to put it.
Gingrich then admitted that his job was to use charged language like, quote, radical, to incite the emotions of the American people. Stewart's response?
No, I think that's wise, and don't let reality get in the way. Here's the thing. No, I'm kidding.
Number 8, Nancy Pelosi. Right-wing politicians and pundits aren't the only ones who fell prey to Jon Stewart's interview savvy on The Daily Show. Then House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi was destroyed in her 2014 appearance.
Why do we have so much trouble executing these plans with any kind of efficiency?
Well, again, if you're dealing with people who have no agenda, who nothing and nothing is our agenda and never is our timetable, right, it's very hard to negotiate with them.
Instead of responding to Stewart's accusations of government incompetence, Pelosi threw up her hands and deflected all blame on Republicans.
Why is it so hard to get a company to execute that competently?
I don't know. And as one who works very hard. No, and that's my question.
Well, let me get the House Minority Leader here. I can ask her. Hold on. Wait, what do you mean you don't know?
Stewart did not let Pelosi off the hook that easily, pressing her on Democrats' inability to have a website built, only to receive answers like, I don't know, and that's not my job. She had equally infuriating non-answers to the VA healthcare backlog and concerns about fundraising transparency.
Do something about it. In other words, okay.
I was going to say that to you.
Do something about it.
I was actually going to say that to you.
Pelosi's stunned, vague insistence that, quote, things are getting better wasn't reassuring to Stewart or his audience. Number 7, Pervez Musharraf. One of the most surreal moments of The Daily Show was Stewart's 2011 interview with former president of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf.
We have to take it up a notch because of the deterioration of our two countries' relationship.
Okay.
Powerade and balance bars. I don't know if you've ever had this.
After a peace offering of balanced protein bars and Powerade, Stewart grilled the former head of state on how he not only harbored wanted terrorist Osama bin Laden, but also lied about it in a prior interview on The Daily Show.
Let me clarify. I know that in your program you said, I lied to you, but
I mentioned
but the silver lining was that you said you lied to me. So that's not bad. Be on a level playing field.
Well, to be fair, I said that you might have been lying about Osama bin Laden, and I lied about reading your book.
Yes.
Stewart refused to believe Musharraf's insistence that the Pakistani government had no idea of bin Laden's whereabouts. Bin Laden was allegedly living in a $1 million house that neighbors reported for being shifty and burning trash.
This is not a case of complicity. It is certainly a case of negligence.
Though Musharraf tried to quibble over details, Stewart's case made it clear that he was still probably lying through his teeth. Number 6. Rod Blagojevich. Jon Stewart being baffled by blatant lies always makes for great television. When former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich went on The Daily Show to insist on his innocence in the middle of his corruption trial, Stewart lamented that the fast-talking politician made it, quote, so hard to see him as a victim.
I would like to see you as a Dickens character. I would like to see you as a victim. But you make it so hard to take your side completely.
Stewart played the recordings that kicked off the scandal, in which Blagojevich brags that he's got something, quote, golden, and he's, quote, not giving it up for nothing, referring to then-President Obama's Illinois Senate seat.
You told me.
Listen to the rest of that tape.
The rest of that
talks about health and human services and a role for me there.
Well,
yes, it does.
Not close to it. You said the next few words.
Stewart expertly held back laughter when Blagojevich insisted he referred to Obama as a, quote, demigod on the tape, not a, quote, demagogue.
Demigod. Larger than God at that time. Yes, not demagogue.
Right.
Don't say that.
One of those was a talking point at the time, and the other was complete nonsense. Number 5. Donald Trump. Jon Stewart left The Daily Show right before the political paradigm shift that was the 2016 election cycle.
You know what? Slice of pizza. Respect.
Before his departure, he was able to sneak in a few jabs at then-presidential candidate Donald Trump. Stewart went after Trump's questionable campaign kickoff speech that led to canceled brand deals from Macy's. But his most famous Trump segment centered on a New York institution, pizza.
But if you're taking an esteemed visitor to get real New York pizza, Familia's ain't it.
Dinner was great. We had great pizza. Wasn't that good? It was real New York pizza.
No, it's not.
Stewart grew unhinged with anger as Trump took Sarah Palin to a, quote, real New York pizza place. That was a chain restaurant with a location in the Atlanta airport. The horror doesn't stop there, as Stewart revealed that Trump eats his pizza with a fork and knife.
Are you eating it with a fork? A fork? Ah,
Sometimes it's the little character assassinations that hit the hardest. Number 4. Mike Huckabee. Jon Stewart often invited right-wing talking heads to debate him and promote their books on The Daily Show. Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee's most famous appearance involved a debate over gay marriage.
Marriage still means one man, one woman, life relationship. I think people have a right to live any way they want to, but even anatomically, let's face it, the only way that we can create the next generation is through a male-female relationship.
Stewart argued concisely that denying gay people the right to marry is a violation of their humanity. Huckabee made false equivalencies to polygamy and insisted he wasn't homophobic.
If a person does not necessarily support the idea of changing the definition of marriage, it does not mean that they're a homophobe. It does not mean that they're filled with hate and animosity.
Under Stewart's pressure, Huckabee admitted he believes being gay is, quote, a lifestyle choice. Stewart went in for the kill, claiming that being hyper-religious is the ultimate, quote, lifestyle choice, and that the former governor has always had his rights protected under the law.
The protections that we have for religion, we protect religion and talk about a lifestyle choice. That is absolutely a choice. Gay people don't choose to be gay.
Number 3. Nathan Dahm. The Problem with Jon Stewart featured many hard-hitting interviews. The most thorough destruction was of Oklahoma State Senator Nathan Dahm.
Your argument is backwards.
But if you want, okay, so let's come up with a solution. Okay, so one of the issues, a contributing factor, again, I believe it's the individual that is the problem.
So your solution to that is give them more guns.
Dahm went to debate Stewart on gun laws like a teenager who didn't study for the test but is pretty sure he'll get an A. Stewart walked Dahm through all the areas of the law where he supports regulation and asked why guns don't require the same care.
But why with guns are you against bringing order?
I'm not against bringing order.
You are. You're also making it less safe for cops and for people.
Stewart also cited hard statistics on U.S. gun deaths that Dahm tried to dismiss as, quote, opinions. The coup de grace was when Stewart highlighted Dahm's blatant hypocrisy. Dahm stated the government has a responsibility to protect children from drag shows but not firearms, when only one of those can kill.
And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not drag show readings to children.
Correct, yes.
So what is it?
I'm presuming you're going to say it's firearms.
No, I'm not going to say it like it's an opinion. That's what it is. It's firearms. More than cancer, more than car accidents.
Number 2, George W. Bush. The artistry of Jon Stewart's political takedowns lies in how he uses politicians' own words against them.
Well, tonight it all changes. We're going to have an honest, open debate between the President of the United States and the one man we believe has the insight and the cojones to stand up to him.
In 2003, then-President George W. Bush was trying hard to convince Americans that the best response to the 9/11 attacks was a full-scale military invasion of Iraq.
Why is the United States of America using its power to change governments in foreign countries?
We must stand up for our security and for the permanent rights and the hopes of mankind.
Instead of challenging the necessity of the war head-on, Stewart used footage of Bush in 2000 as governor of Texas to do the job. Past Bush confidently said that invading sovereign countries to, quote, spread democracy was arrogant and wrong.
If we're an arrogant nation, they'll resent us. I think one way for us to end up being viewed as the ugly American is for us to go around the world saying, we do it this way, so should you.
Well, that's an excellent point. I don't think you can argue with that.
By simply playing clips of Bush's conflicting stances, Stewart called into question whether the president's word meant anything at all. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The 116th United States Congress. Comedy is an effective way to speak truth to power, but Jon Stewart's most cutting words for politicians were completely serious.
Behind me, a filled room of 9/11 first responders, and in front of me, a nearly empty Congress.
In 2019, Stewart testified before Congress about their failure to extend the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund that provides health care to sick and dying 9/11 first responders. Through tears of rage, he said that Congress should be ashamed of themselves, as several committee members neglected to even show up to the hearing.
And it would be one thing if their callous indifference and rank hypocrisy were benign, but it's not.
He also noted that every politician claims to stand with 9/11 first responders, only to treat them with cold indifference when it comes to actual lawmaking.
Why this bill isn't unanimous consent and a standalone issue is beyond my comprehension, and I have yet to hear a reasonable explanation for why.
Stewart's testimony went viral, and the bill passed 6 weeks later. What's the greatest Jon Stewart political takedown of all time? Post your pick in the comments.
Some people thought that my contribution to the pizza dialogue was not particularly well-reasoned.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.